hands already got stained with ink and we haven't even started. It is time to do another fill a sketchbook spread with me type video. Let's spice it up a little bit today though. For real, it feels like we haven't caught up in a while. This is gonna be like a partial Q&A. I went through my art supplies, found some things I haven't used in a while. Who remembers this old box? Yeah, maybe we can bring it back. I don't know, we'll see. But also, I have been dropping hints that I've been working on a project for a while. So I have this used palette. We need to use up these paints. I'd like to use my stuff up. We might have to reactivate it just a little bit. Oh, wait a second. Who remembers these? I've only used them like twice on my channel. You know what? Let's start with this.
Which paintbrush can I destroy today?
Don't judge me. Most of my brushes are crusty. A satisfying sight to see. You might be wondering, okay, what are you doing with that square? I have a plan.
Don't you worry.
Do another shape over here. Oh, that was a satisfying swipe. I really like using up forgotten art supplies because I think it kind of forces me to grow a little bit, you know? Step outside my comfort zone, do those scary things. What better place to do that than in a sketchbook where you can just experiment. Really feels like there's no wrong answers in here. This is your place. Maybe you have an art supply that you bought to treat yourself or you got as a gift. You've been really wanting to use it, but you're like, ooh, these art supplies are really good. What if I waste them or ruin them? Look, friends, I'm telling you, just use them. Just use them because they're gonna sit there, collect dust, maybe get old and separate over the years. You just don't know. Enjoy them while you have them. Okay, these little ink splotches are gonna dry now. We're gonna go over them in a little bit. But first, let's do some fun stuff, okay? So this is gonna be a partial Q&A. I made this little Instagram story here. And for the folks who don't use Instagram, I've got you. I made one here on YouTube too. I'll read from them both. So let's just start with the first question. This one is from the YouTube community tab. Petty Kitty Fam asks, how do you balance your marriage, baby, and business so well? You always seem like you have it all together. Well, thank you. That's really sweet. I'm gonna be upfront with you. I do not have it all together. I don't. So with balancing a marriage, having twins, and a business, I do not work full-time anymore. I only work 4 days a week and not even like full-time hours. So my sister-in-law helps me with my shop and she babysits while I am working. So that is really, really helpful. But another thing that's really important to us is carving out time for the people we love. So we like to look at our calendar pretty much every Sunday-ish and talk about what is coming up in our week, what days we can X off to spend quality time together. We're not the best at it. I will tell you that right up front, but yeah, that's what we've been trying to do. All right, I really want to test out these Posca pastels because I tested them in a video once. Sounds fun to do it again, right? This ink is drying anyway. You know what I'm feeling today? I'm in a good mood. It's just really fun to do these little videos and catch up with y'all. I want to draw a ladybug just for memory. Nothing fancy here. Ah, these are really nice. I forgot how nice these are. Been thinking about drawing a ladybug because I've been thinking about how great it is when I find them in my garden. You know, you know. Let's switch to this red color. So once these squares dry, I am going to paint over them. These are like the underpainting. Just wanted to let you know, it's like, it's not gonna just stay what you're seeing now. You ever just like go to draw something or go to spell a word and you really know it in your mind, but then you're like, that seems too good to be true. I need to look this up. Or maybe you write the same word like 8 times and you're like, this looks fake. This does not look like a word. I'm having that moment. We are fine though, we are fine. So I'm gonna take this black. I'm just gonna do some illustrative stuff. Little curly antenna, little nubby legs. Ooh. I really like these Posca pastels. I said that in the video where I tested them. I can link it below. But one thing I think I don't like about them is they are so thin. I feel like they need to be just a little bit thicker because I think they're even thinner than a standard colored pencil, and I'm gonna double check that. Okay, so here's a standard colored pencil and here's the pastel. It is so close, it's hard to tell. But with a colored pencil, I mean, you have a harder material, it's wood. This is pastel. It'd just be nice if it was a little bit thicker. You can't have it all, I guess. I think this one is dry enough. If you follow my Instagram, you probably know what collection I'm working on, but I know a lot of you folks don't have Instagram, and that is pretty much the only social media I have chosen to use anymore. So this is your place to find out. I've been working on a painting collection. This palette is leftover from that. Let's just activate it a little bit. This is acrylic paint, by the way. Normally I would use gesso in my sketchbook, but today we're just gonna use up stuff. It's okay. As I said, I've been working on a painting collection. I'm gonna use up some of the colors that I had pre-mixed on this palette for a little mini painting, and it will like hint to you what I've been doing. I've been painting a lot of trees because I went on a little trip to an Airbnb. I get to tell you about it very, very soon. The cover that I actually had on this palette preserves my paint for like weeks on end, and I only keep it wet with water. I don't like to use additives with acrylics. I know there are additives, I just don't want to use them. The little cover I use preserves it for like weeks, and it's so nice, especially if I'm doing a collection like this. But now that the collection is over, like I'm over this palette, so I'm gonna try to use it up soon, move on to other things. So we have some little trees here. I am getting so nervous about having this coffee next to that paint water. No, I didn't. There's no paint in here. That was brave. Okay, a lot of people are asking the question, how do you manage being a full-time mom of toddlers and still manage to create? This is similar to my last question. So yeah, I have childcare. I only work part-time though, so yeah. But YouTube isn't really like a hobby for me either, so I try to keep that in mind, that having childcare for a little bit is pretty important so that I can run my business. But if other people are stay-at-home moms, I totally applaud you. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to support your family. And the things that you're doing are very important and valid. How do you put a price on your artwork? Ooh, this is something that I have actually been wanting to talk about for a really long time. So let's dive into it. When I post like paintings online and I put them in my shop, I have a price on them. How do I go about that? That's a great question. So I hope this is helpful for people out there. I started pricing with a different method about like 2 years ago, and it was really helpful for me. So I don't know if any of y'all have heard of pricing by square inch instead of like calculating the time you put into it, the price of your art supplies, and blah, blah, blah. There's another way you can go about it, which is pricing per square inch. And some artists, when they do that, they do still go through the math and add in like the cost of paint, the cost of a canvas, your supplies. Other artists are like, all of that is in my square inch pricing. So I have seen artists charge like $1 to $8 per square inch. I am currently charging between $3 to $4 usually per square inch of a painting. And the reason why I started doing this is because when I was calculating everything based off of like time and cost of supplies, I would always be like, well, I can't charge for 20 hours of painting. That makes me feel guilty. Let me just bump it down to like 15. Or, oh, these supplies are so expensive. Like, I feel like I can't factor that into my artwork. And there was just so much like guilt around the way I was pricing my stuff that I was underselling myself. So I really had to work on that. And then I came across like different methods of pricing. And I found that a lot of professional artists actually just charge by square inch. And it is a lot easier because then there's less stuff to keep track of. You have like a standard for your sizes of paintings, and your prices are all kind of like the same for certain sizes and stuff. It just makes everything simpler, cuts the headache out. So I started charging by square inch, and that was probably like 2 years ago. Every so often I raise the price just a little bit, but yeah, it's around $3, give or take, depending on the size of the painting. Like if it's a small 6x6 painting, I charge a little bit more than $3 because the time and cost of supplies, I do factor that in for the smaller ones. I have found that doing that has actually increased my sales though as an artist, and it's helped me feel less guilty and just have less of a headache over all of that stuff and more like time and joy to create. So if you're an artist who struggles with pricing, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I will say there's a lot of different methods that you can go about how to price yourself fairly. And I do think artists do valid work and they should be compensated fairly for their time, for all the years it takes to learn different skills. It's the same with like any other career field. So don't invalidate yourself. That's my really rant that I just like kind of went off on a little rabbit trail, but there you go. I have a question of the day for you folks since we're just catching up. I feel like this is fun because I am generally a pretty private person, but I'm breaking out of the shell today. We're talking about life, art. So I want to know about you now. What is your favorite outdoor activity? That's my question for you. I love gardening, but I also really, really love hiking and just seeing different parts of the world. Daisy Droid said, I'm such a huge fan of yours. Is it ever discouraging to see your videos get low views? I have pretty much accepted that like my channel is not gonna be blowing up. That's not why I do YouTube. It's okay. I mean, sometimes it sucks when I put a lot of work into a video and I like pour my heart into it, like a painting collection. Those are the things that bring me a lot of joy. And then to see them like not really get a lot of views sometimes sucks, if I'm just being honest. It's not like my worth is in views, I guess. My views kind of tanked a lot after I got pregnant and took a maternity leave. My channel is still like recovering from that, but that's okay. Just gotta have grace with yourself. And also like with the view thing, like it is valid to feel bummed about like not getting a lot of views. But on the other hand, the views I have, I'm like super thankful for, cause like some of y'all have been with me for years and I love you and appreciate you, and I'm so glad you're here. That's a positive that comes from it. And with less views, another thing that's really sweet is I can read more of the comments. Like back when my channel was getting a lot more views 2 years ago, it was so hard to keep up with the comments. I mean, it still is. Okay, this little mini painting is almost done. It's gonna be pretty simple. Okay, let's do like a neutral-ish sunset because I need to use up this gray. The goal here is to let this ink shine through. It's giving it like a pink undertone. That's gonna take some layers. I went to the Park of Roses the other day, took some photos. I did like a painting series based off of a trip there a couple years ago, but I'm kind of thinking about doing it again because I have changed a lot since then, like my style and whatnot. So let's paint a little scene here. Get some inspo in mind, you know? I might jump around a lot, by the way. Okay, start blocking in flowers. So what's really cool as this page progresses, you're gonna see a lot of different styles merge together as we incorporate different art supplies. That's why I really like doing these sketchbook spreads, because I like to call it, it's basically art vomit on a page. You're getting stuff out of your system that you've either been holding in or just really random stuff that comes to your mind as you're going. When I was a teenager, my art teacher was really awesome. She really encouraged us to use our sketchbooks and just enjoy creating. And then when I got to college, my art professor was very different than that and kind of like shamed me for doing that in my sketchbook. So anyway, around that time of my life, I think I had a lot of like shame around like what my sketchbook was supposed to be, and it made art less fun. And then when I started this YouTube channel and I got into sketchbooks, I thought back on that experience of my life and started wondering like how many other people have had similar experiences and just don't enjoy creating anymore because of these negative experiences. So I want to kind of like redeem that a little bit for people. And I hope that these videos where I'm just like doing whatever here in my sketchbook is healing for people who have maybe had bad experiences with that sort of thing. Okay, I'm just gonna do like big, fun, whimsical little brush strokes for these roses. I think painting roses this year has become more fun because I've started growing roses in my garden, and yeah, I'm learning a lot of things. Roses attract a lot of pests. Just gonna start doing little leaves. We'll let this part dry, revisit this painting. It's gonna be a good time. Okay, let's do the sky over here. We'll do some layers because that was like super watered down. No worries. Let's do another question. How about a cupcake asked, what is the place you want to travel to the most? Ooh, this is a good question. I feel like I have a lot of things on my bucket list right now. I would love so much to go back to Hawaii. It stole my heart. I really think going somewhere like the Philippines would be cool, or Australia or New Zealand. I think right now though, with having twin toddlers, we're kind of just chilling for a little. I don't know when our next big vacation will be. I would also love to go to India. I just want to see the world. I want to see the world. I want to learn about every culture and connect with different people who have seen different things and think differently than me. I just think it's all so beautiful. Okay, let's do some more highlights on these roses. Okay, next is the fun part. Let's take this iridescent copper. We need to do some cool picture frames for our mini painting. So I'm just gonna put a little bit right there. Looks good. I also got more white. There we go. It's a little brighter now. Let's do some sunbursts over here. Okay, there's the little sunburst. That's really similar to the paintings that I have been working on, but on a much larger scale. This is just like a tiny thumbnail. Okay, the thing I'm most excited about, these little picture frames. I think it'll look nice and antique-y. Oh, that is so cool. Okay, I'm gonna do it for this one too. This is making me really want to do a collection, like a moody garden collection, because I took these photos right before it was about to rain when I was at the park with the kids. We got rained on and had to like run back to the car. It was so fun. But I have so many moody garden photos now, and it's really fun to use moodier colors. If only there was enough time in life to do all the ideas that we have. This is what sounds fun now. It is a complete change of direction, but bear with me. So now I'm just using my Art X acrylic markers. You probably hear me talk about these a lot because I love them, but we're drawing a cat. Not just any cat. I have something fun in mind. So what we're gonna do is something a little unique, but I'm feeling inspired. Okay, so there's that little spot right there that's weird. It's okay, because I have a plan. So we're gonna take this brown color and do the cat's nose right there. These markers are so smooth. Ooh, should I do whiskers? Yes. What kind of question is that? I'm also feeling maybe like some other colors in the fur. I don't know, something like that. I'm bringing the poscas back. We're gonna make the outside of the cat look sketchy. Yeah. Okay, I want to try something different now. I hope this turns out okay. I'm a little nervous. I don't draw people that much anymore, so honestly, I'm a little terrified. But before I give away what I'm doing, let me read another question. One person asked, how is my garden doing? It's doing good. I'm loving gardening this year. My peppers aren't doing as well as I wanted, but that's all right. You win some, you lose some. Another person asked, are you a Christian? Yes, I am. That is a very important part of my life. Okay, another person asked, what motivates you to create art and how do you handle constructive criticism? I think there's a lot of things that motivate me to create art. One of them being just feeling inspired by my surroundings. Sometimes I just need to process like something I'm going through in life. So, you know, you gotta create sometimes. It's nice. Let's see, other things that motivate me to create. Just for fun, I like creating. So yeah, those are like some of my motivators, I would say. I'm trying to draw Moana, by the way. I really like that movie. It's probably one of my favorite animated movies. So we're gonna just see what we can do. Gotta practice anatomy here and there. I don't really enjoy portraits as much anymore, but I do enjoy trying this from time to time. How do I handle constructive criticism? My views on that have changed so much over the years. Like, when I took a class in college with constructive criticism being like a main component of it, I mean, that just felt kind of normal. And I mean, in my high school art classes, that was pretty normal too. But I think back then I was a little bit more insecure, so I felt like, you know, I had to take all the criticism that came my way and change based off of it. Now I don't feel that way. I feel like, yeah, everybody has different preferences. Like, sure, you can criticize my work. Doesn't mean I'm always going to take your advice, but I am appreciative of your thoughts. That's kind of how I view it. I think that has helped me feel more free to create and more joy in the process. I also am very appreciative of constructive criticism though, because I'm not a perfect artist. That's that. Sometimes we just can get in a rut or used to doing things a certain way, and somebody will come along and offer us a little tidbit that's really helpful. Even other artists sharing how they do things and not necessarily pushing it on me is helpful, because then if I've never like heard of a certain technique or I've never tried a certain technique, it inspires me to do that. So, wow, why did I choose this image? Ugh, whatever. It's a sketchbook, right? I'm just gonna have grace with myself. It doesn't need to be perfect anyway. Just a little sketchy sketch. I wanna just keep this loose and gestural, so I'm trying to not get caught up in all the little details. Well, that was fun. It's not perfect, but I tried, and that's what matters. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do with this though? Maybe it's because this yellow paper is inspiring me, or the fact that I know these are just chilling here. I need to use it. So one of my favorite things with dressing up a sketchbook is to bust out some ink like this. You can go over a sketch and then your page is all colorful. You could also do this part first and then sketch over it. Up to you. Okay, let's do this. Since I'm still on the topic of trees, thought it would be fun to do a thin little tree along the center of the sketchbook. Let's try something else now. Why is it every marker I pick up is always out of ink? Let's pause real quick and use this. I just want to draw a bunch of little fish, kind of like how I drew them in elementary school, because I can do what I want in my sketchbook right now. Did anybody else do that? Oh, it's the little things in life, you know? It really is. This is one of my favorite things to use in these sketchbook videos is colored pencil. Side note, I do think it would be fun to try to do like a full fan art thing, not just like a little sketch, but actually try to do it and see what my style would be like. It's been a really long time since I've done something like that. Ooh, you know what we should do? In a recent video, I did an eraser carving thing. I kind of want to do a little bit of that here. Let's use some inks. I carved this checkered one, and I've just been dying for reasons to use it, so just gonna use it. right here. I think I need to use it down here too. This stinks so bad. It smells so disgusting. You know how when something dead washes up on the ocean shore? Now let's take this one. Kind of fun to use these again, you know? If you haven't seen that video, you're getting a fun little preview here. Yeah, there wasn't anything like super significant about that. I just had the urge to use them. Okay, I'm feeling like the page needs some orange for sure. Yeah, what are we gonna do about that? Let's take some orange first of all. I'm just gonna add some texture to these little scallops first. Maybe like some royal blue. Ooh, kind of go with the flow. Maybe like a gold color would be fun. Ooh, something else just came to my mind. I kind of want to write some words on this, which is unusual for me, but I kind of want to write style hoppin', because that's what we are over here, style hoppers. It just felt right. I mean, I think it's kind of cool that there's these like old vintagey, impressionistic looking paintings with like antique frames, and then all this like in between. It's just a nice, refreshing contrast today. Ooh, should we answer another question? Let's hop on over to Instagram this time. Okay, Sketches and Scrubs asked, do you watch lots of art videos or creators on YouTube? The answer to that question is yes. I don't watch as much of art videos anymore as I used to. Obviously, I'm still super supportive of my friends. I love them. I want to support my art friends. But the things that I mostly watch, I would say, are like gardening videos. There's some old OG YouTubers that I still watch. Lots of gardening videos though, like Acre Homestead, Roots and Refuge, Simple Living Alaska. I really like Morgan Adams. Let me see. I also really like watching people who do the business side of art, like Catnip Illustrations. I feel like she has really trailblazed the way for artists. I still watch Bailey J, like tons of artists too. I love our art community. Okay, I need to put something right here. What color am I feeling? I also feel like I should do something over here now. But what? I'm really liking these poscas today. I might regret this later, but I'm just coloring the background this orange color. Mostly for the sensory experience. Just being honest, it feels kind of fun to use these. Somebody asked, when are you releasing your courses? Well, okay, so I think part of the reason why I'm pushing both of those things back is because it scares me to do them. It's like something new, you know? But that's okay. I'm still working at it, just at a slow pace. Okay, that was kind of satisfying and fun, and I think it looks cooler now. That was so fun. I love the end part of this because I'm just trying to fill space with like really random, not super detailed things. It usually ends up being like shapes. It's a cool way to just get some color in. You're creating for the process, moving your body. It's awesome. Wow, this is making me feel like a 90s kid again. Didn't that old show like Zoom or something have triangles in its logo? I don't remember, I'll put it on screen. That just unlocked a memory. Zoom was such a cool show. Anyway, here's our little spread. Look at the frames glisten. That is so fun. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, making some random art on a page. I really love filling sketchbook spreads with you. It's just a cool way to unwind. I also answered some random questions of yours today. I feel like I kind of forgot about it near the end of the video, but that's all right. If you don't know, this is a series on my channel. So I will link the other ones down below. If you're feeling like you're in a binging videos kind of mood, I've got you covered. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.